Hi friends, let's do a quick practice. Grab what you need if you have a yoga mat and any other props, and let's begin sitting. If you want to sit up on something, grab a blanket, and we'll begin with eyes closed. Just taking a couple of slow, deep breaths here. You might bring some attention down to the base of your pose, just feeling what's touching the floor or your props. Lengthening all the way up away from that, sitting as tall as possible. And you can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus. And feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you. Let's begin with a side stretch. We'll take the right arm up and over. Lean onto your left hand or elbow. And then start to circle your right arm back behind you as far back as you can. Finish up the circle you're on, coming back to your side stretch. And then curve your way forward and we'll hang down over the legs. So that could be leaning into your hands. You might fold a little deeper to your elbows or all the way down. Just breathing into the shape you are in. You don't need to fold any deeper than you're able. Feeling your body right where it is right now. Let's walk our way back up, rolling up. Bring your hands to the floor behind you, fingers facing forward. Roll your shoulders back and your elbows back. And then lift the chest. Take the chest as high as you can, sternum rising up. Release, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. Roll your way back up and then recross your legs, other leg in front or on top. We'll take the left arm up and over, side stretch, other side. And then start to circle your arm back behind you as far back as you can. Feeling what you're doing. Finish up this circle you're on, coming back to your side stretch, and then curve your way forward. We'll release down over the legs, onto the hands, elbows, or all the way down. Walk your hands back in, rolling up. Again, hands to the floor behind you. Shoulders roll back, elbows roll back. Lift the heart. And release. Come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees. Drop your chin. And then roll your way back up. Let's come forward onto hands and knees, tabletop. If you want to pad your knees, you might use a blanket or roll up the center of your mat. Really spread your fingers, get hands flat and active, and we'll take a few rolls through the spine. Starting by lifting the head and tail, arching, and then exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now inhale, arch, and send your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend. From here, lean your weight forward, bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor, pressing up from there. Knee in, extend. Go forward to dip down. However much you're able, could just be a couple of inches. Press up, knee in, extend. One more time, go forward to dip down. Press up, knee in, extend, and roll your hip open, reaching toes to the sidewall. And you can stay here on two hands or take opposite hand back to reach for your foot. Left hand catches right foot, kick your foot into your hand. Breathing, lifting up away from the supporting hand. And then gently release, arm forward, leg back. Square off the shoulders and hips. Draw the belly in to decrease the arch in the lower back. And then release, hands and knees, sink back to child's pose. Maybe give that right wrist a little rub or circle. Let's come back up to table. Check that hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, fingers spread. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now, inhale, arch, and send the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dip forward to go down. Press up, knee in. Extend, dip down. Press up, knee in. Extend. One more time, dip down. Press up, knee in. Extend, and roll your hip open. Holding here, or take the right hand back, catch your foot, and kick your foot into your hand. And just work with your body. If something I'm suggesting doesn't work for you, you do not need to do it. Find something else that does work, or skip it. Let's release, arm forward, leg back, square off shoulders and hips, and draw the belly in, keeping breath nice and deep. Release, hands and knees, sink back to child's pose, maybe giving that left wrist a little rub or circle. Let's extend arms out and walk the hands over to the left. Pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through the left hip, stretching the left side a little more. And then back to center. Let's lift up through table and come back into a downward facing dog. Pull the hips up and back. And you might pedal out your feet a little bit here, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. As you settle into the pose, check on the details you are aware of, things you've learned so far. Spreading fingers, outwardly rotating upper arms, pulling hips up and back. Let's send the right leg up to the ceiling. Reach it as high as you can, and then take a big step forward. Let's come into a low lunge. So you can pad your back knee if you like. If you don't have something to put under it, you could even roll up the side of your yoga mat. And if it's difficult to reach the floor and you have blocks, you're welcome to grab your blocks for under your hands. Sink the hips forward, looking for a stretch on the front of the left hip. You can keep hands on the floor, on blocks, or you might bring them to your hips or even arms up. So choosing your level. Let's release. Hands back to the floor or your blocks. Take the hips back for a hamstring stretch. So you can inch the front foot forward and then flex the toes back. So if it is difficult to reach the floor, blocks can be really useful. You can come up as high as you're able. If you don't have blocks, you could put a little bend in the front leg or bring your hands to your shin. Soup cans. Get creative. A couple books. If any of you want to go further forward into splits, you're also welcome to slide the front heel forward, going to your edge. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. To release, let's bring both hands to the inside. So you can bring your blocks with you if you have them. We're going to turn out through the right foot and then shift weight forward, coming down to lizard pose, either on elbows or hands or elbows on blocks. If this doesn't immediately feel right for you, you can experiment. If you tuck your back toes, you could scoot your hips further forward or further back. You could lean your weight more to the left or the right. You could turn the right toes out more or less. And if you would like to add a quad stretch, you can bend the back leg, reach for it, and draw it in. And if this is not possible, then don't do it and don't worry about it. Let's release this side and come back to downward facing dog. So you might take a vinyasa on your way there, coming through high push-up, lower down, up dog or cobra to down dog, but you could also just step back or move in some other way. Feeling whatever you're choosing to do. Taking a moment in down dog to just notice the difference on the two sides, feel how your body is now. And then send the left leg up. Big step forward. Low lunge. Feel free to adjust the distance between your legs. You may grab your blocks. If you did so on the other side, you might try a different arm position. Release, hands to the floor or to your blocks. Take the hips back for a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward, flex the toes back, going right to your edge. And because all of our bodies are different, when each of us is going to our edge, it will look different. Your body may not look like what I'm demonstrating. So the important thing is to go in the directions, and then it'll be how it is. So here, in the direction of hips square, in the direction of a flat back, in the direction of folding, and some of you may go in the direction of splits. If you start sliding your heel forward and it won't go, it means you've arrived already. You're there, and this is how it should look and should feel for you, for now anyways. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Let's bring both hands to the inside. Turn out through the left foot and then shift your weight forward, coming down onto elbows, either on the floor or blocks, or maybe you're on your hands. And feel around within the pose, gently going towards what's tight rather than away from it. If you did add a quad stretch on the other side, you can do so again. Let's release and make our way back to down dog. So again, you might take a vinyasa, you might just step back. Feeling what you're doing, whatever you're choosing to do right now. Taking a moment in down dog to even out the two sides. Let's make our way to sitting and all the way back onto our backs. Bring your knees in, take a little circle or rock, and let's get set up for bridge pose. So we're going to drop the feet to the floor, hip width apart, parallel. Try and have your feet right under your knees, and then begin to press your feet down to lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back, shrug your shoulders underneath you, and spread the upper back and lower back away from one another. Check that your feet and knees are still hip width apart and parallel. If your knees start going wide, draw them in. Last breath here. Take your arms out of your way, roll down and rest. Take a moment with back flat. And either continue to rest here or come up again for one more back bend. You could do bridge, what we just did, or if there's a different back bend you know or want to try, you're welcome. Could be half wheel or full wheel, could be supported bridge, some other variation. Just feel what you're choosing to do. Stay as long or short as the pose feels right. And when you're finished, come down and rest. Let's take Happy Baby as a counter stretch. We're going to grab the soles of the feet on the inside. Press the knees towards the floor, and this could be done in stillness or with a little rocking. You might try and straighten your legs a little or a lot. If they don't straighten, it's okay, just go in that direction. It could be one at a time or together. Release both knees back to the chest, another circle. Grab hold of your right knee, drop the left leg long, and then draw your right knee across for a spinal twist. Open out through your right arm, let your knee and shoulder release away from one another. Release back onto your back. Bring both knees in. And then switch. Grab your left knee, drop your right leg long, take it across. Spinal twist. And then release. Roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Check in with your body. Is there anything else that's needed? I'm going to talk us through a little Shavasana in a moment, but if you want to keep practicing, you could shut off the video and just keep going on your own. If you're ready to come into Shavasana, take your time getting comfortable. If there's a way to set up support that feels good for you, a little something under the knees or thighs, or covering up with a blanket. You might also put on some socks or cover your eyes. Take your time getting settled. When you are ready to release into your final resting position, you can let go of control of your breath. As much as you're able, let your body just drop back into the floor, back into the support underneath you. At least for a couple of moments, nothing to do. Nothing to plan or figure out. Just allowing yourself to relax into the ease of simply being. Let your breath deepen again. Begin to move your fingers and toes, and then wrists and ankles. And then a big full body stretch, reaching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. Roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. Coming back to a comfortable cross-legged position. And bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks for practicing with me today. Doing a little yoga is so much better than not doing any yoga. Keep up the good work.